There he is. I'm going to start off and tell you my favourite joke ever. Not mine, but as I was growing up in Ireland as a kid, this joke has stuck with me, right? You're going to love this. A fella wants to join a monastery, and he goes to this monastery, and he says, I'd like to become a monk. And they say, yeah, you can become a monk, but you're only allowed to say 2 words every 5 years. And he goes, fair enough. And he goes, that's your first 5. I added that bit in as I got older. So 5 years comes along, the head monk comes up to him and goes, what do you want to say for yourself? And he goes, bed hard. He goes, fair enough, goes off. Comes back 5 years later, he goes, what do you want to say for yourself? He goes, food stale. He's right here, goes off. Comes back 5 years later, he goes, what do you want to say for yourself? And he goes, room cold. Goes, right here, fair enough. Comes back 5 years later, goes, what do you want to say for yourself? And he goes, I'm quitting. And the head monk goes, thank God for that, you haven't stopped complaining since you got here. See, you're laughing. Why are you laughing? Does no one care why he left the monastery? He was there for 25 years, for God's sake, and you're just laughing away. Not one is going, why did he leave? He'd committed his life to that monastery, and now... It would have been a much better joke if the head monk went, why are you leaving, by the way? And he says, well, I'm sick of this totalitarian system where you're the head monk and you can say as many words as you want. I know it's not as funny, but it's real. So I'll be doing some poems. Actually, I'll do a poem now for you. I've got a book. I'm not selling it. I usually do. But I just get sick of the... it's ridiculous, actually. At the end, I do a 2-hour show, and then at the end, I'm outside at a table with a pen in my hand as people just walk by and go, all right. That makes you feel good about yourself. Wrecking the wreck. Breathing heavy, not being able to lift anything heavy, putting shit up my nose, soaking my liver, aches and pains, not eating properly, vegetating, staying indoors, smoking beyond the enjoyment threshold, hardly any sleep, weak need, weak will, constantly. These are a few of my favourite things. Thank you. Thanks for the applause. It was kind of like the applause you get on Court 14 at Wimbledon, isn't it? When you couldn't get to centre court and you go, well, that tall check guy, that was quite a good rally. So basically, I don't think relationships work at all. I'm 50, live on my own, no children, because I'm not playing by society's rules. You've just fallen into the trap, most years. Yeah, get married, have some kids, that's what you're supposed to do. No, I'm a maverick. Very lonely maverick. Well, I realised from the age of 14 that relationships don't work, because I was a big fan of the Bay City Rollers. Are you with me, ladies of a certain age? Yeah, come on. Yeah, Bay City Rollers. I was me and all the girls in the local area, like the Bay City Rollers. I got the tartan trousers. I was so obsessed by the Bay City Rollers. If they told me to put on a suicide vest and blow up David Cassidy, I would have done that for them. But I love all the lyrics that they used to have. Much better than the new bands now, the boy bands now. Bay City Rollers, they pretty much let me know that relationships don't work. And I'll tell you why. The big hit, if we could play it, please, Tom.
If you hate me after what I say, can't put it off any longer.
Just gotta tell her anyway. Bye bye baby, baby goodbye. Pretty much, yeah, giving her the flick. The most successful band in the world, and he's given her the flick. And also, when you're given the flick, that's hard enough, but to get your mates to harmonise? It's a bit mean-spirited, isn't it? You shouldn't do that and go, listen, I'm giving Fiona the flick later on. Could you come and give me some moral support? Sure. Fiona, it's never really been official, so I think we should break up. Break up, baby. So, if you haven't got love or anything in your life, if you've got sport, I like football. I know you like to call it soccer, but I'm never calling it soccer because it's always football to me. I support Crystal Palace. See, isn't that weird? We live in a society, right? I say, I've just told you something I love, and people boo. You wouldn't do that in any other walk of life. This is my new girlfriend. I love her with all my heart. Boo! Like when I was a kid, all the other kids supported Liverpool and Leeds because they were the big teams at the time. Just glory hunting. But I was smart enough to know that Leeds and Liverpool were cities that I had no connection with. Why would I support their teams? Nobody bothered to tell me that Crystal Palace was a shithole in South London. I just sounded like it was a fairyland. Crystal Palace. I thought we played in castles. And Cinderella was in goal. Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace. Even when the video print used to come on a Saturday on the sports, I go, Rotherham United 3, Crystal Palace. No. And I was at a music gig, not recently, my friends, because I'm up for... Anyone here who's over 40 and still goes to music gigs? You're making the young people feel awful. You're killing their buzz, you there with your ponytail going... yeah, I'm still with it. And they're going, why don't you go home? Even now, people still ask me to go to gigs. Go, hey, do you want to go to see the Killers at the O2? I'm going, I've got their CD in a sofa. No. I might have a glass of wine from a real glass later on. Tell me what they look like from that screen that you watched for 2 hours. Good luck with the transport situation going home. But I was at a gig ages ago, and this guy came up to me, a really thuggish looking guy, and he went, oh, do you support Crystal Palace? I went, I think you find they're called Crystal Palace. I didn't. There's a time and a place for humour. And I thought he might be a rival fan and want to beat me up. But unlike Peter and the Christ, I did not deny the palace. I went, yes, I do support Crystal Palace. I'm going to flinch, waiting to get hit, and went, good on you, so do I. And we bonded over this mutual love of something. And then I was going to swap numbers with him. And I said to him, do you get out to see Crystal Palace much yourself? And he went, me, barred for life for stabbing a bloke. All right, oh, my battery's died. I'll tweet you. That's real friendship. The only game I play, and if anyone's looking for a good computer game, this one's a really good one. It's called Tesco's Internet Shopping. It's really good. What happens is you don't shoot anyone, Billy. Basically what you do is you try to get your groceries in within budget. You go around looking for special offers, 2-for-1s, that kind of thing. I'm pretty good at it. I got to level 6 last week, quite proud of that. It's the gardening section. Bought myself a little hoe. £4. Happy enough with that. But the great thing about Tesco's Internet Shopping is interactive. A couple of days later, they come round to your house, with some of your shopping. Because whoever packs that stuff has given up on life, haven't they? Just go, yeah, just put all this in there, that's fine, that's what they ordered. Ding dong. We didn't have any vegetarian sausages, so we got your turnip. Cool. Turnips are quite hard to cut, aren't they? You just have to have about 8 goes on it. What I love about being Irish is we are rubbish at sport, and we know that. And that's great. And what I don't like is the fact that most of the Irish football players are English. It's pretty much anyone who doesn't get into the English team, they ring on their doorbell and go, is there any chance your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad was Irish? Get the jersey on. And it's embarrassing when we win a game and they're talking to the captain afterwards. Were you happy with the result? Yeah, I loved it. We smashed that out of the park. Oh, yeah, it was a great game, really was. Dublin, is this home or away? Are we home or away? I'm not sure yet. I haven't really sorted that out. But I love the fact that we know... Like England, I live in England, and I used to be like... We used to very much support anyone who played against England. But are you still like that? See, I'm not anymore. I love when England qualify, and I'll tell you why. Because they always think they're going to win it. And that is quite funny to be around people going, we're going to win it. And I'm thinking, have you seen you play? That's not going to happen. And I always leave for the championships from Heathrow Airport at a very media-friendly time, 4 o'clock, so it makes the 6 o'clock news, and they're suited and booted with the brill-creamed hair. There's a guy with a trumpet there. And British Airways put bunting and banners all over the plane going, "Bring back the cup, England." And they go, "Yeah, we probably will." They always come back 3 days later in the middle of the night via Luton Airport. But I love, that's what I love about Ireland. We always win 1 gold medal at the Olympics. And that's good. We've done well. But then there was that weird thing, and this is why I love being Irish, is when Michelle Smith, the swimmer that no one had ever heard of before, because when we won the boxing, we went out that night, we got drunk and punched each other in the face in celebration. And then when Michelle Smith, when we went out that night, went swimming and punched each other in the face and got drunk in celebration. We went, yeah, we've got our gold medal. We can relax now, enjoy the rest of the games. Then, 2 days later, she won another gold medal for swimming. Most countries would be going, "Whoa, all right, we've doubled our tally." Not Irish people, we're going, "Something dodgy going on here." 2 days later, she won another gold medal. Most countries would be going, "We are probably the best at swimming in the whole world." Not Irish people, we were going, "Test that bitch for drugs." Bearing in mind we didn't have an Olympic-sized pool in Ireland at the time. That was funny watching Irish swimmers in competition, because they do really well for the first 2/3, and then they go, "Where's the ledge? I can't find the ledge. I'm drowning. I've never swam this far before." Sport. So yeah, I kind of... the papers sometimes have a go at me. Years ago, I was 24, right? Basically, I was single, I was, semi-famous, and I was hanging around, going to parties and stuff. And Sunday World ran a piece and going, "Sean Hughes is shagging around." And I had interviews with girls going, "Yeah, I met him in a nightclub, he didn't seem interested in the music at all, he just wanted sex." Put exclusive on that. But I was living in London at the time, so I didn't know about it. But this is where it gets embarrassing. My mum rang me up and read the whole article to me. You don't want to be talking to your mum about sex. I'm going, "Oh, Mum, it's just nonsense, pay no attention." She went, "It's a lovely picture." So I'm at the age now where I could die. I probably won't, but I could have a heart attack. It'd be sad, but you go, "Well, he's 50, he drank and smoked." Like, it's not like James Dean. It's not young, But so because I'm 50, I've actually I've made a will, and I've got a house in London where the shops are, and no mortgage, and they're quite expensive. And I've left that house in my will to Shelter, the homeless charity. Yeah. You're a weird odd. Ooh. I've also, in the will, had the stipulation that homeless people have to live there as well. Yeah, so I find right-wing people as well, they always do that thing about, "I don't give money to the homeless because I only spend it on booze and drugs." If I lived in an alleyway, that's how I'd spend my money as well, just to take the edge off somewhat. Someone gave me 50p, I wouldn't be going, "Can we sell some quiche?" Yeah, so I've left a stipulation in my will that homeless people have to live in my house just to annoy my neighbours, to be fair. Yeah, I don't like one of my neighbours, Dave, and I'll tell you why. Because as I say, I work nights, and I've got 2 dogs. Well, I've got one. The other one died at Christmas, so I don't want to bring your buzz down. Yeah, it's all right. He was 20. It was like living with your granddad, to be fair. Just shaked all the time and couldn't see anything, just ate him. He said, "Tell me when there's some food, otherwise I'll be in there watching Nazi documentaries." But yeah, so basically, I came home from a show like this, and I unwind after the show, maybe have a glass of wine, relax and think about the many rounds of applause I got during the show. And no, thank you. But yeah, and so basically my doorbell rang. It was around midnight, and I was going, and of course I wouldn't normally answer the door because I live in London where the shops are. You know, there's murderers all over the place. But you know what it's like, if you've got dogs, you have to open the door because they bark endlessly till you open. Let them in! Open the door! So I open the door and Dave's there and he's fuming and he goes, your dogs have been barking all night. I don't want this to happen ever again. And I'm thinking, I don't know how clever you think dogs are, Dave, but I'll play along with you. Sweet Betty, come here. Dave said, you two have been barking all night. We don't want this to happen again, okay? I think we've sorted that now, Dave. Off you go. But my idea basically is we're homeless people who take drugs and stuff. Like Russell Brand, he was a drug addict. Well, you're always a drug addict. Then he was a sex addict, and now he's into politics addict. And I think we're all addicts. I really do. And because basically I quit drinking and smoking for 2 years, and I was so condescending to people. You know, it's ridiculous. You see people drinking and look at you, no control over your life. But all you do is substitute one addiction for another. I'm going to look at you drinking there. Well, you've got no control over your life whatsoever. On my third decaf soy latte of the day with a big family pack of Maltesers, where's your control? And I'll tell you why this is, because we've got two sides of our brain. We've got common sense and we've got mumbo-jumbo. And they battle with each other every day, making decisions. Every day going, mumbo-jumbo's a lot more fun, but it gets you into trouble. Like, you'd be there at home, mumbo-jumbo, like around 11 o'clock in the morning, and common sense would go, peppermint tea? Mumbo-jumbo would go, why don't you finish that wine in the fridge? And common sense is going, but it's 11 o'clock in the morning. He's been up since 6. It's like a lunchtime drink. Leave him be. Get home late at night. As I say, I live on my own. I go, common sense will go, light comedy? Mumbo Jumbo will go, haven't you taped that true crime series? Why don't you watch that? That'd be fun to watch. Ooh. Because the thing, and I've known this since I was 12. I was living in Showhouse at the time, near Tala, and I was like just happy enough walking down the road, and then Mumbo Jumbo just went, hey Sean, why don't you touch that lamppost for luck? I mean, that makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just going off to have my tea. I went home, had my tea, and then an hour and a half later, Mumbo Jumbo was still in my head. I went back to that street and touched that lamppost. And I thought, oh, I'm in trouble, I'm an addict. And basically, how I started comedy, I was 14, and Mumbo Jumbo said to me, hey Sean, why don't you pretend to be Australian today? I went, that sounds like a great idea. And I liked Neighbours, I still do, to be fair, so I know all the lingo. I know they call crisps chips. And so I went into this newsagent's, and I went, could I have some chips please, mate? And he's going, this is newsagents, what are you talking about? The chip shop's up the road. Oh mate, the chips. Salt and vinegar chips. I'd like some salt and vinegar chips, please, mate. And he goes, no, and we had a big discussion for about 20 minutes. I stayed in character, and he was talking about French fries and all that. And eventually, we came to a pass, and then he gave me the crisps. And I went, thanks very much for the chips, mate. And I gave him the money, gave him a change, and he went, as I was leaving, he went, how's your brother, by the way, Sean? He's all right. Got a bit of a sore throat. Probably sounded a bit weird in there, didn't it? That's all right, thanks. It's the spirit of 16 coming back there, wasn't it? It's weird, isn't it? Like, because it's a big year for Dublin with the 100th anniversary, but it's hard to explain 1916 to tourists. Because people go, there was a rising, oh, tell us all about it. Oh, I love hearing about revolutions. Well, what happened was a couple of lads took over the post office. And a couple of other lads went to the bakery. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And can you imagine one of the soldiers running up to Dublin Castle going, oh, the revolution started, and the ambassador's going, oh my God, get me a pen and paper, we must let England know. No stamps! Well, get me a sandwich. No bread! Oh, they've got us. So, yeah, politicians, they all talk rubbish. So what's your name? John. Are you into politics? Don't you think they're just, it's PR now, isn't it? Yeah, basically, I think rather than talking nonsense, I think they should answer every political question with the exact same answer every time. Ask me any political question, John. Right, hang on, I'll put the mic to you.
Why is there so much apathy towards the political system?
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Next question. That's how it should be. But politicians, we don't trust them anymore. You know who we trust? One Direction. They are so much more powerful. If Niall from One Direction said, I'm not drinking milk anymore, a load of kids would stop drinking milk. That's the power they have. And they waste it, don't they? By just writing songs going, do you like my shirt? I've got nice sneakers on. It's such a waste of time. I've actually written a political song for One Direction, and I'm hoping they're going to use that. I'll sing the chorus to you. I think you'll like it. It goes like this. We all like chicken, but I don't like what's happening in Kiev. Thank you very much. You've been a lovely audience. See you soon.